Hey, welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for checking out this video. Hope you are having a fantastic day. Here we go. I'm going to give a little bit of a shout out to someone at ESPN. Now, we don't know how long this will last, and like others, like Ella Duncan or Stephen A. Smith, Chiny Agua Mike. And by the way, let me know in the comments below. I got this from, of course, AI that it's Agua Mike. I look at it and my first thought is Agua Mike, but I do not know. Let me know in the comments below if it's Agua Mike. Tell me it's 3 syllables. If not, if it's Mike, that's 4 syllables. Let me know in the comments below. But she has some positive things to say about Caitlin Clark, some really positive things. A couple of things I take issue with, but she has some positive things. So we'll see if she walks it back. If not, I think this woman needs to be protected because we know how these things go. She called Caitlin Clark the most impactful player in a generation. Let's check this out. She is a current ESPN host, which is why I said she needs to be protected. She's heaped praise on rookie guard Caitlin Clark of the Indiana Fever, calling her the most impactful, I think that should be impactful, player she has seen in a generation. She talked about Clark's remarkable influence, not just on basketball itself, but across the entire sports landscape. And she absolutely has had that type of impact that it's gone beyond her sport. And she says here, Caitlin Clark, when it comes to her impact, it's absolutely true. She is the most impactful player that I've seen hit the scene, not even just in basketball, but in sports, in a generation for how she moves the needle, not only with viewership, but business. And here's the key that I think a lot of people need to understand that they're not paying attention to when she finishes this with, and that rising tide lifts all boats. That is what a lot of people don't understand, or they don't care. They're comfortable with the WNBA being the way it is and getting millions and millions of dollars every year from the NBA just to survive. They're comfortable playing in front of 3,000, 4,000 people. They're comfortable without getting media attention. Otherwise, why would you not want to piggyback off of the Caitlin Clark effect? I don't understand that. Now, China, who last played in the WNBA last year, but she's played a little while back, as she said here, she's played against the likes of Maya Moore and Candace Parker and Diana Taurasi, and she talked about how Clark's influence is unparalleled. It is unique. It is very, very different than anything anyone else has done. She says, I know the greatness that the game has always had. I take issue with that. But Caitlin Clark is bringing it to new heights, exponential heights, and it's bringing and ushering the moment that we have always been waiting for. That's what they say. That's what they say. Now, here's what I mean. I don't mean this. I really don't mean this in a negative way. Just a reality of the situation way. When she says, "I know the greatness that the game has always had," I'm not going to take away from how hard professional athletes have worked to get to where they are in any sport. But the difference is that we have to understand that you're seeing with Caitlin Clark is people saw what the greatness was and had no interest in watching it. Don't mean that as an insult in any way, not hating on players. Look, we've got the Olympics going on, so I'll actually pick one from the Winter Olympics, but it's one just from people I just talked to randomly that it gets watched during the Winter Olympics, and the rest of the 4 years until the next time, it's never ever talked about, and that is curling. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. It's one of those things when the Winter Olympics are on and it's on, you will watch it. It becomes interesting. But guess what? There is no incredible demand for a national curling association in America with curling franchises all over the country and millions of people tuning in. It's not a knock on the people who do that. That's an incredible amount of skill and strategy. But in terms of entertainment, it's just not the people's choice. That's just the way it is. And Caitlin Clark, because of the way she plays the game, has brought something different. People find it fun, they find it entertaining, it's exciting to watch, and that's why they tune in. And yes, there are other players in the league that bring something as well that people who tune in for Caitlin Clark may see those players and be, you know what, I enjoy this. And look, I'll flat out say it about one of the players on her team. Aaliyah Boston with Caitlin Clark, and those who have watched from the beginning of the season have seen the evolution of how the two players play together, and it is fun to watch. If you remember, because I showed it numerous times because I showed it from a few different angles. I kept getting new angles of that incredible play when Caitlin Clark was guarded by Kelsey Plum all 94 feet, and Aaliyah Boston brought it up, and they had that great pass to Aaliyah Boston. A lot of that also had to do with Aaliyah Boston. Aaliyah Boston, as a center, was able to dribble the ball up the court under pressure. As soon as she saw Caitlin Clark adjust to Kelsey Plum and boom, go away, Aaliyah Boston delivered that pass right away, had the basketball IQ to go right to the hoop because she knew she could get that ball back. And she did. And she went right hard to the basket and made the layup. And Aaliyah Boston, at least in how she's been playing with Caitlin Clark, is enjoyable to watch. So this Caitlin Clark effect can spread to other players and to other teams if they embrace it, which is what I keep hesitating to say her name because if I'm getting it wrong, I feel really bad. But that is what China is trying to say here. Now, one thing I do a little bit take issue with is this last part. She says, I think a lot of times when you speak positively on other players, people take that as a shot to Caitlin. It's not. You have to celebrate those who are also advancing the game, but also recognize that Caitlin is doing things at light speed. Um, I disagree with that. I don't believe people take speaking positively of other players as a shot at Caitlin. I'll give you a great example. I just praised Aaliyah Boston. I don't think any of you listening took that as a shot at Caitlin. What people don't like is the things like reality is coming. They don't like the Me Too speech that you're all watching because of Me Too. It's not just Caitlin, it's Me Too. They don't like the Kennedy Carter, you biatch, and the assault during the game. They don't like this nonsense and the lies and the gaslighting about how Angel Reese is somehow in the Rookie of the Year running. That's what they don't like. They don't like the lies and the nonsense because people don't like Caitlin Clark or they're jealous of Caitlin Clark and they're trying to downplay what she has done. Two very, very different things. I don't know any Caitlin Clark fan who has a problem with someone speaking positively on the season Asia Wilson is having as a basketball player. They might have issues with her, how she acts as a human being off the court, but no one says, oh my gosh, how could you say that? When they say that's an insult to Caitlin when they're saying something positive about Asia Wilson. She's averaging 27 points and 12 rebounds a game. That's pretty good. No Caitlin Clark fan is going to get mad at me because I just said Asia Wilson's having a good season. So I think that's kind of where I say that when they say something positive about Caitlin Clark, they find these nuggets to throw out there to hopefully not get destroyed and then have a do walk back what they said. And I think I have this part. I kind of just read it all. I didn't realize pretty much everything she said was in that article, but I think I have a little bit of it here. I just want to make sure I have the volume up for you before I start. I know sometimes these things are low.
Caitlin Clark, when it comes to her impact, is absolutely true. She's the most impactful player that I've, seen hit the scene, not even just in basketball, but in sports in a generation for how she moves the needle, not only with viewership, but business, and that rising tide lifts all boats. And the reason why I say for a generation is because I have the lived experience. I played against Maya Moore. I played against Candace Parker. I, played against Diana Taurasi, particularly most of those in the WNBA. And I am my big sis in life, my mentor, not even when I talk about basketball, is Lisa Leslie. I know the greatness that the game has always had, but Caitlin Clark is bringing it to new heights, exponential heights, and it's bringing and ushering the moment that we have always been waiting for. And I think a lot of times when you speak positively on other players, people take that as a shot to Caitlin. It's not. You have to celebrate those who are also advancing the game, but also recognize that Caitlin is doing things at a speed, at light speed.
So, like I said, you got to protect this woman. We'll see if she walks us back. I have issue with a couple of things, as I mentioned about the Caitlin Clark fans think praising other players is a shot at Caitlin, which is absolutely nonsense, complete, total nonsense. I also really, truly, I don't like this bit about how you have to appreciate other players. No, you don't. And I don't mean that in a mean way. It's just I've never in my entire life of being a huge sports fan have I ever heard people trying to virtue signal and put others down that it's bad that you root for this player or this team, but not these others. It's just the weirdest thing. It's just the opposite of fandom. Any of you who are diehard fans of wherever you are, whatever teams you are, let's think of whatever the sports city is, Boston, LA, Chicago, whatever. As a Philly fan, I'll use the Eagles because I don't know if there is a city that hates another team more than Philadelphia hating the Dallas Cowboys. I will never appreciate the Dallas Cowboys. I will never appreciate any of their players. I will never root for them to win a game, even if it means they need to win for the Eagles to sneak into the playoffs. I'm not rooting for them. The Eagles should have won another game and gotten into the playoffs. I'm not going to root for the Dallas Cowboys. So anyway, I could go on a long rant on that because I think that's just ridiculous. But I'm going to leave it there. Let me know your thought. First of all, let me know about the pronunciation, but also let me know your thoughts on her comments in general. Do you think she's going to walk it back? How long is it going to take to walk it back? Uh, but again, I think she might have thrown enough other stuff in there for it to be okay. But we'll see. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I really do appreciate it. We have gotten past that 6,000. We're going to head to 10. I know we can do it. I know we can do it. Thank you so much for all your support, and I will talk to you later.